Hey, so I wasn't planning to talk about this today, but it's been sitting with me for a while, and I had this feeling that someone out there might need to hear it. I think when we're growing up, everyone tells us that our 20s are supposed to be this magical, exciting time, like everything finally clicks. You're confident, you know what you're doing, you feel comfortable in your body, your relationships, your choices. And then you actually get here, and it's just confusing. Not bad, not wrong, just confusing. One of the biggest things no one really warns you about is how quiet life can get sometimes. Not lonely exactly, just quiet. You can be surrounded by people, notifications, group chats, social media, and still feel like you're just sitting alone with your thoughts. And when you're not used to that, it can feel uncomfortable, even scary, because silence has a way of bringing up questions you didn't know you were avoiding. Another thing that sneaks up on you is comparison. You don't plan to compare, it just happens. You're scrolling, half distracted, and suddenly it feels like everyone else is ahead of you. Someone's engaged, someone bought a house, someone has a job they love. Someone looks like they figured out the gym, skincare, money, friendships, confidence, all at once. And it's easy to forget that you're only seeing the highlight reel. What you don't see is how many people are lying awake at night, questioning their choices. How many are unsure but posting confidently? How many are just figuring it out in real time? No blueprint, no timeline, just doing the best they can with what they know today. I used to think confidence was something that just arrived one day. Like you wake up and suddenly feel secure in who you are. But honestly, confidence is mostly just getting tired of being mean to yourself. It's realizing that constantly criticizing yourself never actually made you better. It didn't motivate you. It didn't protect you. It just made everything heavier. At some point, you realize that you don't need to be perfect to be worthy of kindness, especially from yourself. Another thing people don't talk about enough is how much your priorities change. What felt urgent at 18 doesn't always matter at 23 or 25. And that doesn't mean you failed. It means you grew. You might outgrow certain friendships, certain routines, certain versions of yourself, and that can hurt even when it's necessary. There's a kind of grief that comes with growth, grieving who you thought you'd be by now, grieving relationships that no longer fit, grieving expectations that turned out differently. And that grief doesn't mean you made the wrong choices. It just means you're human. Something else I really wish someone told me earlier is that rest is not laziness. You don't need to be productive every second to be valuable. You don't need to earn rest by burning yourself out first. Some of the most important moments of growth don't happen when you're rushing. They happen when you slow down enough to actually listen to yourself, to notice what you're feeling, to notice what you need. And yeah, there are days where you feel behind. Days where you question everything. Days where you wonder if you're doing life right. Days where it feels like everyone else got some kind of instruction manual that you missed. But here's the thing, no one is doing it perfectly. They're just doing it differently. Some people move fast. Some people move quietly. Some people take detours that end up meaning everything. If you're building something quietly, healing quietly, learning quietly, that still counts. Progress doesn't have to be loud to be real. You don't have to rush becoming someone you're proud of. You don't have to have it all figured out by a certain age. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to start over. You're allowed to take your time. If you're watching this and you feel behind or unsure or stuck, you're not broken. You're not failing. You're not late. You're just human. And honestly, that's kind of beautiful. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes. If this felt familiar, you're definitely not alone. And if you want, stick around. We can talk more.